Welcome everyone. In this video we are going to be setting up a GeForce graphics card, and we'll be doing that in Fedora Linux. Alright, first off we need to download the Nvidia drivers from the Nvidia website. So basically do a Google search for Nvidia drivers. The first entry in the list is this page. So from here we will select GeForce and our card version or our card model, which in this case will be an RTX 3060. We'll select the Linux 64-bit option. Production brands is the default entry. And we'll do a search. And from here we'll select download and we'll download the file. This takes a while, so I did it beforehand. And then once it's downloaded, we'll FTP it over to our Linux machine and copy my downloads into the user local source folder. So that's where I have it on the Linux machine here. Do that however you want to do it, as long as it's on the Linux machine. All right, our next step will be to install some required packages, and we'll be doing that using DNF, which is the default package manager for Fedora. So let's see, DNF install dkms pid, and let's see, libglvnd glx, libglvnd opengl, libglvnd devel, devel, and the last package will be package config, pkg config, and we'll hit enter. And this will be done as root. You can't install packages unless you're in root, you have root privileges. And we'll select Y at the prompt, and we'll begin the installation. I'm going to pause here while this installs. Okay, and complete. So let's go ahead and clear this and move on to the next step, which is to disable the Nouveau drivers. Those are the default drivers, video drivers that are used on the system. So we need to disable those. If not, they'll conflict with the installation of the Nvidia drivers. Nvidia installation will fail. So let's go ahead and disable those. So we'll do a blacklist Nouveau, and we will add that entry to a denylist.conf file that's located in the etc modprobe.d directory folder. So let's go ahead and do a echo denylist.conf, enter. Okay, and we'll basically use the same command, just a couple of edits. And in this entry, we will put options nouveau, mode set equals 0, and we'll hit enter, and we're done with that. Okay, our next step is to VI the grub file. So let's VI etc default grub, and at this entry, at this point here, the grub command line Linux line, we need to add to the end modprobe.blacklist. Okay, and equals nouveau. Do an escape, right quit, enter. And our next step will be to go through the process of regenerating the grub file with the new information. So this will take a second, so patient. All right, finished. Now our next command will be to regenerate the grub file. So grub2-config make config -o boot EFI capital E capital F capital I Fedora and grub.cfg, enter, and this will generate the new grub file with the edits that we made, and we're done. At this point, we need to reboot so that the new drivers, or not the new drivers, but the nouveau drivers will be disabled. And so let's go ahead and do that. Let's do it in init6, and we'll wait for this to come back up, and I'll pause while we're waiting. Okay, and we're back. So let's go ahead and check to see if this was done correctly. We should not see the nouveau drivers initialized, so let's do a ls mod grep nouveau, and they are not initialized, so we're good so far. So in the beginning, we downloaded the Nvidia drivers. And in my case, I copied them over to the user local source. Right there. And we are to the point where we need to run the installer. So first thing we need to do is, so this needs to be owned by root, and we need to have the permissions to where we can execute this file. We only have read, write, read, and read right now. We need to be able to execute it. So let's do chown root colon and this file. So we now have the root owns the file now. So our next step will be change the permissions to 755. So let's do that. The same entry there. And let's do it. And we see here that we have execute abilities with this file now. Okay, so the next step is to run the installer. So we'll do a // and we will select this file. Select this file and hit enter. And this I have a driver already installed. It's an old version. So I get this message. You should not if this is a fresh install. And from this point, select yes to all the prompts. So continue installation, building kernel module. Also, make sure you run update on your OS before running this. If you're using the current Nvidia driver and you haven't updated your system, you'll get a kernel source error and the installation will fail. So make sure you run update on your system before beginning the install. Almost done and done. All right, so warning, go ahead and hit OK and install 32-bit compatibility libraries, yes, in the installation, or uninstalling the previous version that I have on the system. Okay, and we'll hit yes to register the kernel module with DKMS, so enter, and we will do a rebuild, right? And it says, would you like to run the NVIDIA Xconfig utility? We will select yes for that. And it's been successfully updated, and installation is now complete. We'll hit OK, and we're done. All right, so at this point, I generally reboot the system just to do it. My personal preference, after I install this. So let's do a init6, enter, and I will pause until the system comes back up. All right, and we're back. So let's go ahead and run a few commands to see what it looks like. So first one will be LSPCI, and we see down here that our graphics card is showing up, RTX 3060. Okay, and let's try ls mod, and we'll grep for Nvidia. There's our Nvidia drivers that are initialized, or our Nvidia drivers, yeah, that's right. And then let's do the last one. This is driver information, graphics card, so on and so forth. So this is our driver version. Let's see, Nvidia GeForce RTX 3060, and that's pretty much it for this. Let's go ahead and clear this. And we've successfully installed our Nvidia or our GeForce graphics card. This does work with every card that I have installed, every GeForce card that I have installed, well, at least the 2060 and the 3060 that we're doing here. And it should be similar process to any other Nvidia supported card. So I think we're done. I hope this is helpful to somebody, and please subscribe to my channel, and if you like the video, please click the like button, and thank you for watching.